So today's video is sponsored by Aniba.com, which is a brand new gaming marketplace with over 20,000 digital products. They'll bring you the hottest deals in the market of any title, new or old, and they have an absolutely incredible Trustpilot score. So you can be rest assured you're going to get your stuff on time and your gaming will continue without a hitch, and they even offer a 24/7 live support, which is just an absolute lifesaver. Now, it's a great place to buy games for not just your PlayStation 4, Xbox or PC, but you can even get things like your PSN cards or your Xbox cards and a bunch more, just like the Amazon gift cards, etc. It's a great place to go ahead and check out, and you can use my code SUPERREBEL to get a 3% discount on your purchase. So what are you waiting for? Visit Aniba.com with the link in the description below. So this video will almost be a roundup of everything that's been going on in the last couple of days, or practically the last week for Marvel's Avengers, as of course it's been a week since my last video. So if you guys want to stick to a format like this, then go ahead and drop a like on this video. I'll be very eager to see what your opinions are on this. Now, let's just dive into what's been going on, and then at the end I'll kind of round it up with my conclusion and some, I guess you could say, brutal honest opinions, alright? So let's dive into the fact that, of course, we got the MCU skin that we were all waiting for Black Panther, and it does look absolutely incredible. And just to give you a better idea on things, well, somebody went ahead and recreated a scene from Civil War with the new outfit, and honestly speaking, this looks really phenomenal, and I'm going to link the original Reddit post in the description below, so by all means go ahead and support that by upvoting it on Reddit. But I think what this really shows is one of two things, right? And in fact, a game to really compare this to would definitely, without a doubt, be Spider-Man PS4, because I mean, photo mode has always just been one of those things that are like ever evolving, right? And we've got to this stage, especially when you see this image, where it's really hard to tell which one is the CGI and which one is not. And I think that just really shows how far the games are coming. Now, of course, photo mode, when it comes down to the graphic elements and all that kind of stuff, always 9 times out of 10 look way better than the actual gameplay experience, but I still don't have a PS5, so I should probably stop talking. Now, going on to the next thing that was really interesting is, of course, Thor's new skin last week, and in fact there's been a lot of memes going on around this saying, you know, they basically just decided to cover Thor in poop and then call it a day. And honestly, probably the best description possible, that is, I guess you could say. And what's really irritating from a consumer perspective, and you guys know sometimes there are some really cool skins in this game, and then other times you look at them and you're like, who actually gave the pass to go ahead and pop this in the game? Because don't forget, they do want money for this stuff as well. It's not like they are handing it out on a plate and saying, here you go, people. It's like, no, here you go, that's $1,500 please. It may as well be $1,500 at this point, because maybe I'm incredibly cheap, but it's super hard to get me to pay $15 for a skin. And this, my friends, is definitely never going to convince me to purchase more suits. But nonetheless, it just really shows that, you know, there could be a lot of potential when it comes down to certain skins, because really, if you broke down this skin, it could have actually been something kind of interesting. And really, it's practically just a filter over an existing skin. There's so many different ways you could have gone around this, and it almost feels like, again, I don't want to blame anyone for this sort of stuff or anything along those lines, because hey, like I said, some skins are great and just some aren't so good, and I guess you kind of never really find a balance between those skins, or just in general. But what it really shows is that I would like to know, in fact, how long it takes to create something like this, because for something like this, and they want $15, and there are people that paid for this as well, I just want to know how long it takes to create something like that, because maybe I am just being very in denial on the fact that it's practically just a filter over an existing skin. So maybe if there was like a behind the scenes on how they create their skins, that would be interesting, right? Because just imagine if this took like 5 seconds to make. Because that's my kind of mindset on this right now. But I don't want to be that guy, I'm just sharing my thoughts from a consumer perspective, because I guess it's just funny, right? Now, let's go on to another situation which kind of gives a lot of hope, in fact. So, of course, every Thursday we get the dev blog update, and last Thursday the updates were that we are still working on an all system rework and are making good progress. Although a major focus for our current content roadmap was system reworks, we want to reiterate that we have more content coming in 2022, including heroes and villains. Then it gets a little bit better though, because there's not just that. There was another question that says, can you give our community a hint on something fun you're currently working on? And then it says, whatever I would say would make me sound like a liar. Now, again, it's like, okay, well, what kind of hint is that? I mean, who are we actually talking about at this point? Now, there's a lot of characters you can think. It's either going to be She-Hulk or Loki. Now, we don't actually know. I mean, She-Hulk is probably the easy one. But, again, that's also going realistically based on the data mine that Miller done way back in the day. I say back in the day, but I'm talking like practically beginning of this year, kind of towards the end of last year. But that is a big teaser in some sort of way. And really what it seems like they're doing at this point is when they release that roadmap, which now when you think about it was one of two things. It was like they had to do it, or they then realized, oh wow, it was probably best off not releasing a roadmap like this, because sure, it kind of tells you what's going on, but it's kind of like one of those things that everyone already knew what was going on. It never really threw anyone back, and it never really, I guess, just put us in that position to say, wow, like this is going to be incredibly awesome. It never gave you that feeling, and I think what they did is they've realized that, wow, it's not had the effect on the community that we thought it would, and now they seem to kind of just be reconfirming all the time that, look, 2022 is going to be jam-packed with content, including heroes and villains, and practically is going to be awesome, and you really want to see it. That's kind of the message that I'm getting from them at this moment in time, but I feel like we're going in a really weird transition for this game. I've been saying it for a while. If you had picked up the game this year, as in the last 30 days, right, and you played the game, wow, the game's going to be absolutely flawless for you, 100% without a single doubt. But if you've been like majority of us that purchased the game on launch and have been kind of sticking on this wild roller coaster all of this way, I guess you could say, then I guess when you get new things into the game, you really enjoy it for the certain period, and then you realize, oh wow, there's nothing else, you know, left to do in this game. So that's the weird position we're in right now. But like the transition the game's going through is that people are genuinely getting bored of the game as a whole, which does completely make sense. That's not something that you can actually say is one of those things that is just a myth, because there are so many creators that I know as well, not that are just covering this game, but also specifically playing the game almost day in and day out, right? Which I don't do, may I just add, anymore, because I don't kind of have a reason to at this moment in time, but I'm just really curious and rooting for the game still to really, I guess, find its feet and be the game that people want it to be, which, like I said, it definitely is that game, technically already, had you have not experienced everything that we did, and you just purchased the game in the last 30 days, you are definitely having a blast, because there's just a whole bunch going on, and hopefully you're not facing a lot of bugs either, although those things are still present. But I guess that's just the bummer, right, with live service games, because they're always adding things and tweaking things. I mean, it's just inevitable for bugs to come up, so you can't really fault them on that. It's just one of those crappy situations. But let me know what you think on this stuff in the comment section below. Do you agree with what I just said, where I think a lot of people, including myself, really still enjoy the game and watching the news going on for the game and support the game and still play it when you want to play it, but you kind of feel like it's boring now, in the sense of you don't, well, if you don't have characters to level up, or you don't have any gears or perks that you want to get, then it is boring, right? Now, you let me know if I'm just sounding absolutely crazy, or if what I'm saying does make sense to an extent, because I don't play the game every single day, but I play the game at least once or twice a week, and equally, like I said, I am really engaged and hoping to see what the game does in a good way in the very near future, and are really sort of engaged in that element. But I feel like that's what a lot of other people are doing, exactly the same thing I am, where you just love spectating and you're a big fan of the game, but now you have nothing left to do in the game, so you're just waiting for the future of the game. But I don't know, leave your thoughts on that stuff in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.